What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is Ash Brown Uncensored. On this particular program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you got to stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about. You got to see what I'm going to talk about. And what I'm going to talk about today, this is just a random story. This is something that's just been on my mind the last couple of days, which is just so random. And I was remembering my Aries twin, my Grandma Louise. And when I tell you Grandma Lou would ride for your girl, Grandma Lou would ride for me, for real. Like, all jokes aside, she was my number one fan. Definitely my number one. And, she always said that, we were Aries girls. We were Aries twins, essentially. And there wasn't a whole lot that would shock her or surprise her, so to speak. And so when I turned 16, I was definitely insecure about certain things. And years previously, I had realized that my ear piercings were not, they weren't straight. One was higher than the other one. And it was noticeably, for me anyways, it was noticeably higher than the other one. And so I was like, okay, when I get old enough, I'm going to ask my mom if I can get a second piercing. And I'm going to just get that done. And that's going to be what it is. So turned 16, asked my mom, and she's like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you can get a second piercing. Because, I was not a problematic kid at all. I definitely feared my mom. Still fear her to this day, and she's been gone, going into 11 years. But I was a good kid. I got decent grades in school. I was not problematic as far as like behavioral issues, because I knew that my mama was crazy. And she would definitely straighten me out and wouldn't hesitate to do so. So when she told me that I could go and get my ears pierced, I was like super excited. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted, all the good things. And I get it pierced. Now, as I was getting it done, I was thinking, what is Grandma Lou going to think about this? Because she would come down several times a year. And she'd stay like 2 to 3 weeks. It was typically in between her nursing schedule. She would always come, and she just loved to spend time with us. And so I hadn't really considered talking to her about it or bringing it up or whatever. So I got it done, really wasn't thinking about it. And I'll never forget that we were at the eye doctor. And she's sitting next to me, and I think I was getting some glasses or something, or contacts or whatever. And she's sitting next to me, and, we're talking and stuff. And out of nowhere, she kind of like does like a double take at me. And I'm like, what's the problem? What's the issue? At this point, I've forgotten that she doesn't know that I got a second piercing. And she says, in just the most Grandma Lou way, your ears bored twice? Meaning like you got a second hole in your head, essentially. And in the moment, I was like, oh, snap. I didn't know how to tell her this. And now I'm in this awkward situation. Is she going to hit me? Is she going to chastise me? Like, what is going to be the outcome? And I just kind of casually said, yeah, I got a second piercing. And you could just see just the sheer shock in her face. It was one of the scariest looks that she's ever given me. Just not shock as in like I'm disappointed, but just shock out of where did this even come from? I can't believe you did this type of thing. And yeah, and she never said anything else about it. She never said anything because, again, keep in mind, I was a good kid. I wasn't out there in them streets. I wasn't running around and trying to chase after some little rusty tail boy. I was a good kid. And maybe I was a little OCD about stuff. And like I said, my main thing is I wanted to make sure that I got my piercings to not look so noticeably different. You know? And I think one of the key points for me was, as I was young, I was a teenager, and I would get earrings and stuff, and one earring would sit at an angle and the other one would sit at a completely different angle. And it would just really get under my skin. I was like, I cannot wait to get this second piercing and just be done with this. But yeah, I absolutely shocked Grandma Lou, and she was not, she was taken aback. She was definitely taken aback. But yeah, that was our time. And that is my story for this Sunday. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love, all of your support. It makes a huge difference. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.